Shout out goes out to our current channel members. If you were interested in picking up a channel membership for as little as $1.99 a month, head over to my channel profile and hit the join button to view all of the available perks. Thanks.
So I've actually had this video planned for a while now, but believe it or not, after all of the crazy reveals that happened a week or so ago, it did unfortunately get delayed. But regardless of that, in today's video, I wanted to talk about Ninjago United, as per usual, and this video is centered around this new series of sorts, taking things back to basics in more ways than one, in particular though, with the villains. So then, with all of this being said, what say we actually get into this? Now, although I have just explained what the video is going to be about at core, I do realise that what I've said was still quite vague, so let's just break it down. Now, of course, right at the very beginning of Ninjago, we had snakes, right? The serpentine. This was at a time when things were still very new, young, and simple for the show, as it was obviously just beginning back in Season 1. So the story was more simple than ever, because there was no before, it was just the very beginnings, obviously. And that kick-started things up until around 2019. Up until 2012, throughout until 2019, things were slowly getting more and more complicated, you could say. The story was evolving, and so the villains also evolved, and we didn't just have simple snake villains anymore. However, as I say, up until around 2019. At that point, Season 11 was just starting to release, and it could have actually been considered a fresh reboot if you so wish, as things were once again kind of becoming a little bit simpler. The show was receiving a few changes and tweaks here and there to keep things more fresh, and once more, the villains were also relatively simple, carrying that traditional Ninjago theme. A few years later though, around 4 years to be precise, believe it or not, kind of crazy that 2019 was that long ago now, but we seem to be entering yet another new phase of the show of sorts, with things potentially being changed around a little, right? Things definitely being tweaked, and with things yet again becoming more simple. So essentially, to cut to the chase here, what I am actually proposing and theorising on is a possibility of us receiving even more simple, potential snake villains in the next season. This would be, right off the bat here, I just need to say, it would be very controversial. I have to say that up front here, as snakes have been getting almost too repetitive, I'd say, and people just aren't fans of this at all. Me personally, right, I do think it depends on quite a few different things and circumstances, but yeah, I can absolutely agree on this very easily getting way too repetitive. I think we need to definitely lay off the snake villains for quite a while. However, with that being said, at the same time, I'm not sure this would work, but we kind of have the setup for this with the core snakes and all from the first wave, right? And also the skeletons that were in the second core wave that just released this January. Both are traditional style Ninjago villains and could have traditional motives and personalities to coincide with all of that. So it's definitely something to keep an eye out on at least, and think about at the very least, right? So that's pretty much just about going to cover it for me here, talking about how things could potentially be getting simpler in terms of Ninjago villains, with the whole serpentine theme coming back potentially for Ninjago United. Just something I've had on my mind and I thought it would be fun to discuss. So with all of this being said, I leave it over to you guys now. Feel free to drop all of your own thoughts and opinions on this down below in the comments. I'd love to hear your own thoughts regarding this. If you enjoyed today's video though, be sure to leave a like on it, subscribe to the channel for more, and hit that notification bell so that you can be the first to watch my new videos whenever I do first post them. And with all of this being said, I'll see you all very, very soon for my next one. Goodbye!